All right. My name is Marsha. I'm a five-star elite coach with Royal Republic. Tonight is Sunday, February 15th. I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day. If you guys can all mute yourselves, we'll have much better audio and recording. So those of you who are not muted, go ahead and do that. All right, that's better. All right, so I'm going to start with some updates, and then we'll head right into the meat of our call tonight, which I'm sure all of you are excited to hear some good information and tips from Zoe and Heather. So I'm sure all of you, we're halfway through the month. You're all, I'm sure, aware of the February sales, but I just wanted to touch and make sure everyone is aware. We have both the 21-day fix extreme and the 21-day fix are on sale for $140. They also both have kickstarts. For $180, you can get the 3-day refresh. And don't ever count somebody out for that. The call is full. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll make sure to get the recording. So, don't assume that someone is not going to be interested in the refresh. I am guilty of that also. But I helped someone this weekend order their challenge pack, and it wasn't even one of the sales. And I just mentioned to them that it was available, and they wanted it. So always give people the options of what they can have, and then just let them decide yes or no what's right for them. Also, the 21-day fix in Spanish is on sale for $140 for the challenge pack, and then the 3-day refresh for $140 for the challenge pack this month. If you are a Team Cup captain, I hope you guys are keeping your teams together and you have a fun environment and a group of 5 people going. Work together with your teams to be creative and think outside the box this month to work together to help as many people as you can. The FAQ for the Team Cup is 9216. If you're running dry on ideas and need some tips, go ahead and check that out in your back office. Maybe a light bulb will go on and you'll get some new fresh ideas to finish out the month strong. The things that they're focusing on this week are doubling your contact list, expand your market, and then use that memory jogger form. So, even someone who cuts your hair or someone at the gas station that you talk to every time you go in to get gas, teachers, people that maybe you haven't thought of before. The memory jogger will help maybe help you think of other people that you haven't contacted before. And you all probably know that the Les Mills pump is limited quantities only. So that's only while supplies last for that challenge pack for $180. Some of you may have been aware that 21-day fix was on QVC this weekend. Beachbody was pretty upfront and transparent about that, about Autumn being on QVC. Did any of you see that this weekend or hear about that? So with that, the QVC is not our competition, and Beachbody just wanted to be very clear about that. They're not offering a challenge pack. People who order off of QVC can't get Shakeology. They still would need to go through a coach to get Shakeology and get the discount of a challenge pack. So it's just another way, another avenue for, exposure. So the more people that we can help, the better. The more people that are using the program, it is to our interest, our best interest, to be able to reach out and coach those people who they're still not, set up with a coach. So any exposure is good exposure. And then coming on March 2nd is Beachbody On Demand. That is going to be offered in a challenge pack for $140. So March 2nd. The FAQ for that is 1275 in your back office. So you can, all of the information is there. Go check it out in your back office so that you're informed and up to date. But that's going to be the streaming of the workouts. It's going to be offered in a challenge pack with Shakeology on March 2nd. So that's what I have for the updates. I will pass it over to, I don't know who wants to go first, Heather or Zoe, to take over from here. Who wants to go first? Okay.
My name's Heather Marco. You hear me? Okay. I'm a diamond coach, but fairly new coaching. I started at the end of October. So I'm still kind of learning everything as I go too. So Alyssa asked if I talk a little bit about recruiting challengers and hitting Success Club each month. So I said I would do that. I guess some of my tips are to always be sharing on your page, whether it be through your personal page or your like page or Instagram, just sharing all of that helpful information for all of your followers. One thing by doing that is you're going to be constantly putting little bugs in their ear. They might not be interested right now, but they are watching. So that's my first tip. My second tip, and something I do, is to set my goal to hit Success Club early on in the month. And something that I found to be kind of fun, I think it was in January when Alyssa set it up to hit Success Club 10 by the 10th. And so I've kind of followed that since then. I try to hit 5 by the 5th and 10 by the 10th. It's just a good thing for me to shoot for, and then it's taken care of early on in the month. With that being said, just because I hit Success Club early on in the month, it doesn't mean I quit inviting or stop what I'm doing. I continue to do it throughout the month, so that way I'm set up for the beginning of the next month. You guys probably already know that a lot of times it takes several conversations back and forth. Sometimes weeks. I've had challengers not sign up for a couple of months before they are actually ready to commit. Another tip I have is to follow up. The follow-up is key with inviting. You can invite. They might say, not now. Just make sure you mark it down and follow up with them in a week or two, or however you leave the conversation. Another tip, none of this information is probably new to you guys. It's just things that work for me and things that have been shared to me along the way. Another thing is to not decide whether or not it's right for them. And I was so guilty of this. I kind of look at my list of who I was inviting and think, no, it's not for them. I'm not going to invite them. I think maybe it was even Marsha that said that. But don't decide for them. Invite them and leave it up to them whether or not they're ready or something that they're interested in. So that's something I've kind of been going by since I heard that piece of advice is I invite everybody. And like I said, if it's not for them, it's not for them. Once in a while, I have someone that says not right now, and they come back around and are interested later on. So my last tip of advice is to really invest time in your challenge groups and your challengers that you do have. I've gotten several referrals, which is great because usually they're outside of my warm market. And so I'm meeting new people that way, and they're wanting in because their friends are having success in the challenge group. So that's important, and it's important to invest in your challenge groups for many reasons. But in order to hit Success Club, that's a big one that's been for me. I've gotten a lot of referrals that way. So I think that's all I have. I'm going to pass it over to Zoe.
Hey everybody, I hope you guys can hear me. I just want to welcome everybody to the call. I know that a lot of you might be still fairly new coaches. And so if any of this is like unfamiliar to you and you don't understand what we're talking about, please ask questions. You can chat on here. You can type your questions, or also feel free to just contact your sponsor coach after the call if you have questions about what some of these terms mean. I would like to just thank Alyssa for the opportunity to share with you guys. As Heather said, she asked us to share a little bit since we're both fairly new coaches and we rank advanced fairly quickly and continue to hit Success Club. She asked if we would share our tips. I'm going to focus more on recruiting coaches. But first, I'll just give you a little background about myself. As I said, my name is Zoe, and I'm 28 years old. I'm a registered nurse, and I have a background in critical care, but I'm working in administration now. And I do that part-time at night, 2 nights a week. So I'm also a mom of 3 kids. My kids are 6, 4, and 2, and I'm married to my best friend and soulmate, and we are a homeschooling family. I homeschool my daughter who's 6, and so that's kind of a fairly new journey for us. I met Alyssa through Facebook, through her Fit Nurse Facebook page. I just saw where she had posted an ad to recruit coaches. I didn't have a clue what Beachbody coaching was about. I had done P90X3, and so I had seen the little ads about getting a coach, and I never really paid much attention to them. So I knew she was legitimate when I talked to her because I remembered hearing about the ads on P90X3. So I thought about it, prayed about it, and decided that Beachbody coaching was a good opportunity for me. And my business has just taken off and been really blessed, and it's been a fun journey so far. So I signed up in mid-October, and I became Diamond in the beginning of January, right before Super Friday in Pittsburgh. And that trip was kind of where everything came together for me, I would say. I really caught the vision that Beachbody has and their mission to end the trend of obesity. And I saw the team atmosphere, you know, seeing our big team together and hearing Alyssa and Melanie speak, and Val and Marsha and so many other coaches that shared their tips with us. I just really caught the vision, and it made me even more passionate about being a coach. So I have some really big goals for this year, and my team is growing quickly. So I'm going to talk to you about how I've recruited coaches since October. My first tip to you would be that if you are very new to this, try to recruit your challengers as discount coaches. That's a quick way to help you rank advance, and that's why probably the primary reason why I advanced to Diamond fairly quickly was just recruiting my challengers as discount coaches right off the bat. So my next tip is that when you are, let's talk about social media. Consistency on social media is really the key to my success to this point, I think. I post at least once a day, and I add probably anywhere between 5 and 10 new Facebook friends a day. And the way that I do that is by looking at friends of mine that I have. I go and look at their friends lists, and I just try to see, you know, find people who we have, you know, 15 or 20 mutual friends, but I'm not friends with them yet, and then I'll add them. And a lot of times they accept my request because we have so many mutual friends. And so that's a way to get more visibility on Facebook. So I would say it's really important that you're posting daily. Alyssa says 3 to 5 times a day, and I know Marsha said that she has been consistently doing that from day one and has never missed a day, which is so impressive to me. Marsha, that's just awesome. I struggle with that. I do work outside the home, and so I just try to make sure that every day I'm posting on Facebook and adding value. And I think we throw that phrase around a lot and sometimes don't really know what that means. But adding value, it just means that when you make a post on Facebook or on Instagram, that post means something to people. So it's not necessarily just a post about how your day is going, but it has value. For example, a recipe, or a tip about getting your workout in, or drinking enough water. Just something that somebody can grab a hold of and use to better their life almost immediately. That's what value is. And sometimes it can be just inspirational. If it's a quote that inspires you to stay on track with your goals. So make sure that you're doing that consistently on social media daily, because like Heather mentioned, even though you may not know it, people are watching you and they're curious. And if you kind of drop off the map every other week or so and you're gone for a week and then you come back, they don't remember it as much. So if you're really consistent in posting, you'll find that when someone decides they're ready to get fit and healthy, you're going to be the first person that pops in their head. And that's your goal, is you want to be the person that someone would think of when they need advice or help getting healthy. One of the ways that you can develop relationships with people you don't already know through social media is to find groups on Facebook that are relevant to you, not necessarily anything to do with fitness or health per se, but for instance, I'm a homeschooling mom, so I might join some local Facebook homeschool groups and just develop relationships with the people in those groups. I'm not talking about making an ad post or, trying to recruit them to a group, a challenge group. I'm talking about just strictly being in the group to develop a relationship with people in that group, so that over time, as you're consistently there and you become friends with them on Facebook, they're going to see your posts that you're making consistently. So again, when it comes time that they're ready to get healthier and more fit, they're going to think of you and come to you. So you can develop relationships through groups like that, and grow your market. So you just need to think about who you are and what's important to you, and think about how you can find people like you. And I know you guys, a lot of this is not new. Alyssa says this all the time, but it works. So another thing that I'm into is cooking. I love to cook, and I cook healthy for my family the majority of the time. And so I'm a member of a couple of food pages, and so I develop relationships there. So just think about yourself and really think about 3 to 5 things that really define who you are, and then you want to try to reach out to people like yourself. One thing that I think needs to be discussed a little bit about social media is what not to do. And sometimes it's kind of a no-brainer, but you never want to polarize yourself in any way. So for example, if you have really strong feelings about a hot topic or a current event, Facebook is probably not the best outlet to talk about your feelings, because it tends to alienate people when you come out with a strong opinion on something. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have strong opinions. I think that's we all have opinions about things. But when you use Facebook as a method to kind of share that with people, it can turn people off to you, and make them not as interested in what else you have to say. So I know that's kind of a sticky subject, but I think it's really important to think about how you present yourself. And it's almost, I laugh because my husband said, it's almost like you're a politician. And you kind of are in a way. You want people to think of you as a positive person. And sometimes when we, use Facebook to vent, or we talk about political things or just hot button issues, it can really polarize people against us. And we don't want to do that. We want to be a positive influence. All right, moving on. I think when I reflect on what's made me successful in recruiting coaches, I would say most of my coaches I already had relationships with, to be honest. And that comes from having authentic relationships with people. I always have strived to not burn bridges with people, even if I've disagreed with them. I tried to never leave a relationship with a burned bridge. I always try to be the bigger person, or to see it from their point of view. And I've always kind of been that way, and to not look at relationships with people as momentary, to think of every relationship you form with someone, you never know, where that relationship will connect you later, or that it'll come back around later. So it's important to invest in relationships with people, to be genuine and to be authentic, and to always kind of have a goal of leaving every person that you talk to better than you found them. I think that the people I've recruited as coaches, they already trusted me. And so when they saw me making these posts on social media and they were interested, it was an easy kind of progression to them signing up as a coach with me, because we already had trust established. So going forward, as you think about growing your network and being able to establish those relationships that are built on trust, personal development is key. And I do use audio personal development, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, that you download the Audible app and use it to listen in the car. That's kind of how I do mine. I wish I had more time to read, but I don't right now. The two books that I would recommend you read, the first one would be How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a classic, and it's one of those books that you could probably read every year and get something new from it every year. It's invaluable, and it really helps you understand how to relate to people in a genuine way. That's a win-win situation for you and whoever you're dealing with. The second book I would recommend is, I'm sorry for the language, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. That book was pivotal for me and really helped me to have confidence in myself and to not be afraid to post honestly and authentically on Facebook. When I make coach recruitment posts, it's a little scary to put myself out there and to present myself as if I'm super confident, when inside I'm like, I'm so new to this. Am I really capable of leading these people? But that book really, really helped me to dig into me and find the confidence within myself to put myself out there more. So I really recommend those two books. So moving on, next point would be to examine your challengers that you have, and the ones that really show up and are very encouraging, they post regularly, invite them to a coaching sneak peek or a coaching opportunity call. Alyssa posts a calendar every month, and she'll put those on the calendar, and I'm sure we'll be having another sneak peek, probably not this week, I think, but the next week. Anyway, really look over your challengers list and think about the challengers that you have that stand out to you as really being encouragers, and make sure you invite coaching opportunity calls. You never know what you're going to get from that. For example, I actually have a coach who's under my husband that I never thought in a million years that she would actively coach. In fact, it took me probably 4 conversations on the phone in 3 months to get her to sign up as a challenger. And she just rocked her challenge. She did amazing with it. And she approached me about coaching. And she's well on her way to Diamond and just really helping people change their lives. So you just never know. It's a lot like Heather said with challengers. Don't make up their mind for them. Just because you think there's no way that would be for them, you don't know that. So offer the opportunity. You might be surprised what happens. The last thing, just wrapping it all up, is I know that Alyssa always recommends we read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And if you haven't read it, it's the concept that small daily actions add up and make results over time. So trust the process. If you're posting regularly on Facebook, if you're giving your challengers excellent experiences in your challenge groups, if you're inviting regularly, trust the process and know that even though it doesn't happen overnight, those actions add up and people will come to you and people will say yes to you. It just takes consistency, and you have to be consistent when you can't see the results. You have to believe it's going to happen when you can't see the results, and that's where your personal development comes in. It really is very, very important. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope that what Heather and I shared with you will help you in some way, and feel free to ask questions if you have them. Let me check the chat screen and just see if anybody's asked anything yet. Let's see. I don't see any questions. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask? Okay, Marsha, I think that's all I have.
Okay, I wanted to add something real quick before we close, if that's okay. I think we have a couple more minutes. There has been some people asking for clarification on how to sign up a coach. So those were awesome tips, Zoe and Heather. Thank you for sharing that. But I wanted to get something concrete back to the listeners on how they can sign up a coach or preferred customer. Depending on if you're in business building mode, you might want to be looking for more discount coaches or coaches for your team. So how you can sign up a coach is 3 ways. Through their Team Beachbody account, they'll just select the coach tab. If they have an existing challenge pack already, they can just pay the $39.95 coach enrollment fee and then submit an online reimbursement for that, so they get it for free. Or most of my customers sign up with a new challenge pack. If they don't want to invest a lot of money for $140, it's $10 more than a bag of Shakeology. They can just sign up that way. Coachingcodes.com is a tool that you can use. You just enter that into your browser and you personalize all of your purchase links. It's really user-friendly for anything and everything that a person would want to purchase. You just enter in your coach ID and your username, and then you can give them the direct purchase link. The third way, which I really love, is the Coach mobile app. And it's a little deceiving. It's not actually a phone app that you install on your smartphone, but when you log in to the coachmobile.teambeachbody.com, you'll log in your coach ID information to log into your account, and then that will link it to you. And then you actually enter in for them, whether they're a coach or a customer. In talking with them, you'll know what they're purchasing. You'll enter their email and then their challenge pack information if they want, what program, and then what Shakeology selection they want. And then they get an email from Beachbody, and all they have to do is complete their order with their billing information. I actually really love that one, especially for newer coaches. It's just so user-friendly. Especially when they're looking, for their first 2 coaches to get them to Emerald, it just really helps make things really simplified. So those are the 3 ways. And then I wanted to give you this script with what I help my customers. If I know for a fact that they're not going to want to work the business, but I want to help them get the best value for their order, for their money, by helping them save money without scaring them away by using that coaching term that a lot of people are, they hear that coaching word and they don't want to coach. So they say, no, I don't want to do that. This is how I help explain to my customers what I'm doing with signing them up as a coach. And it's really helped clear things up a little bit for them and explain it to them. So this is, if I'm texting or messaging, this is what I would tell them. So you guys can read that. So I help most all my customers sign up as a preferred customer. When you sign up as a coach, in quotes, you are bumped to preferred customer status, which will put your order before anyone else's and also give you a 25% discount. I know how anxious you are to get started. So for someone who's really, really wanting the program as soon as possible, this would be a good solution for them. I want to offer you this deal as a way for me to help you save money on any of your future purchases. And you can always cancel at any time if you decide you don't want anything beyond this one order. And then I just remind them again what's in their cart, what they're shopping for, and then tell them that I'll be adding them to their accountability group. So keeping it simplified. So there it is. All right, so I'm going to open this up for any questions one more time, and then I'm going to post this recording in the team pages. I'm sorry, I do have the paid upgrade, so I did not know I was going to be limited to 25 people. I'm really sorry about that. So if you guys have questions, just go ahead and unmute yourselves. I'm going to be happy to help you out.
One thing I just thought of that I forgot to add that I wanted to say was to kind of make it a goal that you always have somebody that is going to be in a sneak peek or on a coaching opportunity call, that you kind of make it a little bit of a challenge for yourself to always have somebody in one of those events, because you almost always will get positive feedback, if not a yes, and I'll think about it from those.
Absolutely. Good tips. Okay, guys, thanks for jumping on tonight. And if you want to listen to this again, I'll be posting the recording. Otherwise, have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.